let's talk about vehicles in the water, because that's really what I've specialized in. Here you've got a vehicle, your car, a Suburban, it doesn't matter what it is. There have been studies done on this, and you can go off of past experience. Is it common if somebody drives into the water, whether it be on purpose or accident, to find them in the back of the vehicle? Yes, it is common. It's not totally out of the ordinary. What happens is vehicle's coming along and it goes in. It'll stay buoyant for. We watched videos in class, did studies, and he dumped video, both some with windows up, some with the windows down, and we timed it to see how long it would be. The vehicle finally went underwater. What we found was, surprisingly enough, even with the windows down, which was the fastest scenario, you're talking almost 3 minutes. With the windows up, it was like 3.5 to almost 4 minutes. So what happens is it comes in and there's air trapped in it in all kinds of places, not just inside the cab. You've got hoses, you've got tires, you've got a lot of things creating buoyancy there. So what happens is the front is the heaviest part of the vehicle because it's got the motor. So it most of the time always goes nose first into the water. And this part, the water level might be up to here as it's slowly filling up with water. Water's coming in the vents. And let's just say 2 scenarios. One, when the occupant hits water, for some reason they're going fast and it knocks them unconscious. And let's say they're not seat belted in for whatever reason. That water and that air pocket is going to pull them because it's to the back of the vehicle. If the occupant is conscious, every time they're going to be in a panic. This is not a normal scenario that you're trained for, in a vehicle that's sinking water. So what they're going to do is they're going to fight to find that air pocket, and they're going to follow it all the way to the back. What happens is a vehicle fills with water and it's going to come down, hit, and a lot of times the momentum of it plus the buoyancy of the tires sit upside down and it'll land like, okay? Now in shallow water, where we're talking maybe 12 feet or less, they come and hit and not have enough buoyancy. When it finally sinks all the way, it will land on all fours. That's why sometimes you'll find them upright, and sometimes you'll find them upside down. Now, people will say, well, can't you get out of the vehicle if you're still calm? You can. There's a couple ways. One, you're going to have a hard time. It may be nearly impossible to open the door vehicle because of the water pressure pushing in on it. You're not going to be able to do that. Your best bet at that point is to roll down the windows and escape. And some people will say, well, you're in water, my windows are electric. How am I going to do that? Well, they did some studies back in the 70s. I can't remember exactly when. Had about 10 minutes of electricity. Your lights, your power windows, all that sort of stuff would work for about 10 minutes. So you've got some working time there. It takes the vehicle 3.5 minutes, let's say, to finally get fully submerged. Now you've got an extra, 6-7 minutes of electricity that you could roll that window down and escape. When you find a vehicle or any sort of evidence underwater, you want to preserve the evidence as best you can. Fingerprints, whatever. So if the vehicle upside down, what you do is lift it to the surface, lift bags, get it over to the shore where you can slowly turn that on its side to get right side up before you pull it up. And if there happens to be a windows down, you want to take some mesh bags, bungee cord them over those windows to contain any, so that as you're turning the vehicle, you don't dump any potential evidence of the vehicle into the body of water it comes out of, if you understand what I'm saying. Do you think Kiely's death was accident or foul play? It's unexplained. If it is ruled an accident, then the investigative / authority jurisdictions need to come forward and say, here's what we believe, therefore we think it's an accident. And they would give an explanation as to why they think that. If it's foul, they would say the thing, but they would say, we think it's foul play and have evidence to back that. Right now, unless something's changed behind my back, we have not heard an explanation. There's no explanation. So until you explain it, is, in my opinion, called an unexplained death. Evidence to go, I know what I saw, but I have no evidence to go any other way other than explained, because nobody's explained it to me. Once I found her and had to get out of the water, I have no say in what they do after that. Find vehicles in the neutral position. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a couple things that we learned in class as far as vehicles underwater Most of the vehicles underwater that are boat ramps are insurance fraud. And the number one clue to it being insurance fraud is a single key in the ignition. Now, once you wouldn't think about that, but once you hear it, you're like, oh, I see, because of it, who's basically underwater, they need the rest of their keys. So stick the key in, put it in neutral, send it off the boat ramp. Yes, finding it in neutral, or finding a book or something on the floorboard, or something that they could have used to put on the gas pedals are all clues. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes, squirrels on fire. I would agree with that. Yes. Shoes, socks, and pants. I only saw the lower part, but I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. And again, I'll be in some other YouTubers to go panel to discuss some things. And I'll put a link to those in my community feed on my channel to keep you informed.